Hi guys, today we're going to talk about writing an introduction specifically for your first essay for academic writing, which is your explain or explore a concept. Okay, so how to write an introduction specifically that's not going to be super argumentative, but is going to get us ready or get your reader ready to learn more about the topic that you've selected. Okay. So just the basics here, just a basic review is that you should be including an intention getter is how you want to start out, and give your topic some relevance here, right? Give us a reason why we should be reading on. Try to hook your audience as best you can. And your audience primarily is going to be your peers and me and the professor. So you're going to want to give us some agency to continue reading, give us relevance to the real world. Why does your topic matter beyond a specific group of people or beyond a very particular audience? You want to give us a broad reason to keep reading, okay? You want to build to your thesis statement, which is going to be your main point, the thing that you're going to be exploring. So try to identify that topic in that thesis statement if you don't already identify it in your attention getter. Then you're going to want to preview those main points that you've outlined in your outline. Okay, so use that to your advantage, and you'll see what I mean in a minute here. And then you're going to want to transition into your body. Now, these are not necessarily one sentence per bullet point that I have listed here. It might take a number of forms. Okay, so let's take a look at a quick example here. Here's an example paragraph about the teacher shortage. And as you can see here, it begins with a attention getter. Okay, predicted as far back as the early 2000s, America is currently in the middle of a dire shortage of teachers. Considering the nature of the school system in America, all students are required to attend school from the time they are 5 years of age until they are at least 16 years old. Students need teachers. An ever complex problem is the continuation here that's as you go into the thesis. Okay. So the idea is that you're hooking your audience here, right? Giving some agency. Students are going to continue to have to go to school. They need teachers to teach them. If they're required to go to school, there needs to be teachers there to actually take care of those students and educate them, right? So then the introduction moves into the thesis statement here. An ever complex problem, the modern teacher shortage in America is an issue that, for the sake of future generations, desperately needs a solution. Again, providing agency, identifying the topic is the teacher shortage specifically in America and the need for a solution. Okay, so the thesis here identifies that this is a problem, and nobody can argue that this is a problem. This isn't a for or against kind of topic. It's a topic that is a problem. Now, how are we going to solve it? And that's what I'm going to get into then in future essays if this is my topic. Okay, so in my essay 2, I'll be exploring more in depth the different sides of the issue and the different solutions that are possible. And then my essay 3, I'll take a side on the solution that is the most fitting or the most logical for this topic. In any case, my thesis statement here in my informational essay is that there is a problem. We are going to explore this problem in this essay. Okay. Then the introduction moves into a preview statement. And this is based solely off of that outline. Now, obviously, if your outline is going to shift, your preview statement might shift a little bit depending on what sort of information you're going to include, depending on what sort of information that you find in your resources. Okay, so this preview statement for the time being is the first important step in resolving this issue is to understand it as completely as possible, to understand what teacher credentialing requirements consist of, to identify the causes of the teacher shortage and the states that are hit hardest by the shortage, and to identify potential solutions to the issue. Okay, so I'm making it very clear in this preview statement what is to come in my future paragraphs and why people should keep reading. What are they going to learn, or what are they going to gain from continuing on in this essay? Okay, and finally, there's some transition to make sure that it's not super awkward heading from my preview statement into my first main point. There's this transition statement here, which is, without an understanding of the issue, no progress can be made to help our future generations. From this point, I then want to launch into my first main point, which is going to be back here in my preview, to understand what teacher and credentialing requirements consist of. And that's where my essay is going to continue on from there. I've now laid the groundwork, I've brought in my readers, and I can then share my information that I've worked so hard researching. Okay? With that, that is my brief little tutorial on the things that you need to include in your introduction paragraph. Now, this is not the be-all, end-all of introduction paragraphs. There are a number of things that you could do to grab your audience's attention in this attention getter. It doesn't have to just be a general statement like this. It can be information that you found in your research. It can be a quote that is related to your particular topic. It can be a number of things. And if you have specific questions, come and see me. But hopefully this is a good general example for you to look at and use as a guide, as a framework as you move on.